So when we got our F-150, we started off with a typical leveling kit, but we wanted to switch things up a little bit. What I see behind me looks absolutely amazing. So check out the video to see how we got here.
So here we are with our newly installed QA1 suspension kit. Bruce, why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown with the new suspension kit?
Absolutely. So what we have here, this is what we call our 5.5 kit. What's just cool about this kit is it does incorporate a 2-inch drop spindle, and then you have a coilover that's double adjustable rebound and compression. The coilover will adjust 0 to 3, so you can really dial in that, ride height from that 3-inch all the way to a 5-inch drop in the front, depending if you got a 22, 20-inch wheel, drag pack, whatever the case may be, you can get that ride height dialed in.
So this kit here, I believe we opted for the double adjustable struts.
Yeah, absolutely. So the double adjustable, it's the best of both worlds. You can really set this up for just the best of best ride quality, or you can set up a little more, drag setup or autocross setup. You can really fine tune the shocks with your adjustment on your compression and your rebound, which if you look back here, these are gonna be your adjustment points. Pretty simple. You have knobs right here. You just click it, and when you get your desired, ride quality, you're locked and loaded. And then when you go to the track, you make it a little more firm so you get some traction hook up and all that. So yeah, best of both worlds.
Talking about ride quality, I think just me and you a while back, your kit compared to some other kits on the market, it knocks them out of the park.
Correct, yeah. So we did a lot of engineering, a lot of R&D, a lot of road testing to really refine this kit, and the customer still be able to use it in a truck, which what it is. You can still tow with it, you can still throw stuff in the bed. It doesn't affect none of that, and the reason for that is because our shock technology. Same thing as a front, this is a double adjustable shock, rebound and compression. So if you have a load in the back and you don't want the truck to sag as much, just crank it up a little bit. You'll be good to go. The truck will not get that drop and all that. But also, like if you want to go racing with it, adjust the shock a little bit and you get this truck to dead hook. We've got trucks with this kit on it right here, 22-inch wheels, and they're in the 9s.
Yeah.
With a power adder, which is ridiculous, right? You put 93 in it, you throw some hay in the bed or whatever and go run 9 second quarter mile. It's crazy. But nope, guys, another cool thing is our traction bar.
Yes.
So these trucks, when you do a power adder on them, they're going to get axle wrapped really bad. Personal experience, I've already been there and done that. So it came with this traction bar, and what it's gonna do is you can really dial it in and prevent that axle wrap. You have this pivot point right here, And
Okay.
this is, once the truck is fully dialed in and said, this is gonna be a 1/4 inch off the leaf spring. So when the truck leans back, when the power hits in, that's gonna push that down to the leaf spring and prevent that axle wrap. I tell people, if you got a power adder, you know, turbo, you know, supercharger or whatever, this is a have to situation.
Yes.
I mean, if not, I mean, the trucks make so much power. You're talking, you know, 600, 700, 800,000 horsepower. I mean, they'll get away from you real quick. So this is not only functional, but it's a safety aspect too, in my opinion.
When should a consumer that's looking at this kit, when should they opt for the double adjustable over the single adjustable kit?
So that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked that. So the double adjustable is more geared toward the diehard enthusiast that wants the adjustability.
Okay.
If you got the customer that just wants to lower the truck, set it, forget about it, take off, then that's that guy right there. But if you got someone that's a true hardcore enthusiast, wants all the adjustability and can set it up in different aspects, you know, from drag racing to autocrossing to, you know, racing in Mexico, maybe, I don't know. So, I mean, lots of cool things you can do with a double adjustable shock. It's just being able to refine that ride quality and dial it in for what your needs are, where the single adjustable is a phenomenal shock also. We just have just one-way adjustability, but that's more geared toward the guys that kind of want to set it and forget about it and have the best ride quality they can.
If somebody's looking at a 3.5 drop, should they opt for the spindles or should they just go with?
If they just want to do a 3.5 drop, I don't think there's a need to get the spindle because you can get that out of the coilover as well. So the coilover is going to give you adjustability from 0 to 3.
Yes.
I mean that, and in the back, if you look back here, if we can get back here, so you have your adjust points in the shackle. So the back is controllable anywhere from a 3.5 to a 5.5 inch drop.
Okay.
Yep. 100% US made, Minnesota. Been in business 35 years, and we just stand behind all of our stuff 100%. I mean, you know, we just built it to last, and, you know, we've been here a long time and been playing the game a long time also, you know.
Yeah, no, it's been great to see what QA1 has done over the years.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And likewise with Steeda, you guys have been evolving for many years, like us as well, too. So working together on this is a very exciting thing for us. So
Really looking forward to what this truck is going to be able to do at the track with the new QA1 suspension kit.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Likewise.
All right, we've got the truck back on the ground, and we got these sweet new Belgian VF9 wheels wrapped with the Nitto NT 420 305 40 22s. It's a square setup, so it's the same size all around, and we went with the 22-inch wheel because with this QA1 lowering kit, it's got a spindle drop. Therefore, it requires a 22-inch or larger aftermarket wheel with a 6-inch back spacing. Plus, we think they go really well and definitely round out the package. Now, a lot of times when you add aftermarket wheels and tires, especially a larger diameter and a much wider tire, it's gonna be heavier. I know the wheels on my F-250, they're over 100 pounds. These though, they weigh the exact same as the factory OEM 20-inch wheels, which is quite impressive. Wider tire, bigger wheel, so therefore you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm lugging around extra weight with this wheel and tire package. Nope, simply put, checks all the boxes and it looks great. Now, the next logical step is let's jump in it, go out there for a cruise and see how this rides with its new dirt nasty low look. All right, so we were just talking about the wheels. Now it's time to get behind the wheel and really see how the truck rides. How does it handle and perform? More or less, what's its street manners like? We went with the QA1 kit for this truck because, well, it's not designed like some of our other builds that we do here at Steeda, where it's two-wheel drive, the customer's focused on the 1/4 mile. This is focused on daily driving. Therefore, the shocks in the rear are not relocated, which means we can keep our Steeda rear sway bar, which is something that's very important to us. In some of those other kits, the shocks get relocated inboard, which is great for straight line driving, but all around cruising, it might give you somewhat of a slightly harsher ride. So we're gonna go ahead, drive this down some streets and maybe some rough roads, but already you could tell as soon as you get in the vehicle, it's a lot lower to the ground. You kind of feel a little bit more connected. A lot of people think with pickup trucks, they're top heavy, they're gonna roll over easier, and they're not wrong. This is something that obviously changes that, and we're just gonna try and get a good feel on how the shocks and struts are. Now the shocks and struts, they're set at what QA1 recommended. Now these are double adjustable designs, both in the front and the rear. That means you're able to adjust rebound and compression separately from one another. And they're 18 clicks, so you got a lot of different fine tuning and adjustments you can do. A lot's gonna depend on what kind of road you're used to. Are you used to super flat roads, or are you used to roads maybe up north where you get snow and you get potholes and rough winters and things like that? So we started off with what they recommended. Dario's gonna be in town next week, and he's our shock and strut guru. He's gonna be the guy that's gonna come back and go, I need a little more compression, a little more rebound, or take some of this out. Now, if you can see this road in front of me, there are holes everywhere. And while it is a little rough, I wouldn't expect it to be smooth no matter what kind of vehicle I'm driving right now. So the beauty of having a kit like this with all the adjustment range is you could go and hit some of those really rough roads and dial in the suspension so it handles that properly. Then you know when you're gonna be on nice smooth roads, it's gonna be riding very nice and smooth. So this would be a better example of a typical road here around Valdosta, and it rides really nice. It does feel a little bit more like a car and less like a truck. Obviously, ride height's gonna have something to do with that. 22-inch wheels and tires, and obviously performance suspension and rear sway bar. One of the things we did, and you've heard me mention this before in our Maverick videos, we love the fact that we have one of these in-house to test, because we're able to take existing products that we've been making and actually make them better. Meaning, a lot of times we'll get a customer, because it's a very popular modification, got a 4-wheel drive F-150, but I've lowered it and I want to use your rear sway bar. So typically speaking, we're able to sell them our 2-wheel drive sway bar end links, right? They're going to be shorter in length. On this particular vehicle, because we got pretty aggressive with the drop, and we're running stock exhaust, that's the kicker. A lot of aftermarket exhaust, they actually give you more room underneath the car, even if they are a larger diameter. We wanted more clearance with our rear sway bar. So literally today, we developed a sway bar spacer kit and 2 additional new end links. So if you do have a lowered 2-wheel drive or a lowered 4-wheel drive F-150, we're gonna have a dedicated end link and spacer kit for you that's going to allow you to lower it as much as you want, but also give you the clearance necessary so you have a nice, quiet ride. So one of the other things we have in development for this vehicle is a front sway bar. It will be adjustable in design, possibly only 2-hole depending on the clearance we have up front, but it's something that's gonna really complement the rear sway bar with this package, and the best thing is, it is super, super easy to install. So I'm impressed. This is a really great kit. Not only just looks, performance, adjustability, you name it. QA1, they've been in this game for a long time, and they really, really make quality products. Actually looking forward to Dario coming up next week, seeing if he could dial it in a little bit better. Like I said, he's our in-house shock and strut tuning expert. And let us know what you think. Should we go right back to the drag strip with this lowered down and see if it actually makes a difference or not? Will the aerodynamics help? Where the larger wheels and tires help? They don't weigh anymore, but they're gonna have a little less rolling resistance, but we should be able to foot brake it a lot harder when we launch it. So Let us know your thoughts. Should we head back to the drag strip with only the wheel and tire and suspension mods? So hit like, subscribe, make sure to check out all of our great products at Steeda.com, and remember the most important thing, Steeda, where speed matters.